Today at Manchester Theatres, I am pleased to be joined by the lovely Sarah Palmer, who is currently on tour with the world premiere tour of The Koala Who Could. It is a co-production of Larry's and it's going to their Keys Theatre from the 8th of April. Now, Sarah has a varied CV. We're talking shows from Jekyll and Hyde to Hey Duggee, Anne of Green Gables to Much Ado About Nothing, Friends Live. But today we're going to learn all about the Friends of Kevin the Koala. So thank you for joining me today, Sarah. And yeah, tell us about this, multi-million selling book by Rachel Bright and Jim. So tell us about it.
So yeah, the book is amazing, as you've said. There's amazing illustrations and lovely sort of rhyming couplets and a script, that we hope we brought to life with the stage show. The beautiful illustrations have been brought to life with puppets. So we've got puppets of varying sizes, and I won't give too much away about the puppets because I think that's something that's lovely to see live for the first time. But yeah, the characters are all there from the book, and the lovely rhymes, the lovely words, and the message of Kevin sort of trying something new.
Yes, he does, doesn't he? He tries. He doesn't want to leave that tree, bless him, but
no, he doesn't.
He doesn't. And there's three of you in the show. So you are multi-rolling with a couple of different things, aren't you? So tell us about, because I didn't know what I can't even say it. A
cassowary.
That's the one. Is it like a flightless bird or something?
It is. It is. It's the closest living relative to the dinosaur.
Ooh, didn't know that.
So she's quite an interesting character to play. But yeah, it's a flightless bird. And then I also play echidna.
Okay.
And one of the storytellers as well.
Yeah, and do you have any favourites in there? Or is it kind of really hard to ask that?
I like them all for different reasons. It's nice to do the animals with the puppets and then sort of come back to being a storyteller, narrator type person as well. I think we all enjoy that part of it where we can sort of come back into contact with the audience again from being these very sort of different animals.
Because the storytellers, are they like explorers through the
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it sounds lovely.
Yeah, we've got our binoculars and our little like brownies scout badges on the lovely costumes. So yeah.
Oh, so the puppets, I know I'm not going to ask you about them because I know we've said we're leaving that as a surprise, but the working with them then, have you learned that show by show, or is it something that you trained in?
So I guess technically show by show because the puppets are so different. But I do have sort of like a background in puppetry just because from doing different workshops in auditions and things like that, you kind of get to grips with them because when you audition for a show with puppetry, you do have to sort of be seen to do it. It's not something that you can mime or just hope for the best if you got the job. So I've had some sort of hands-on experience a few years ago, and then the first sort of show that I did that was mainly puppetry was Oi Frog and Friends Live, which you mentioned earlier, and then it was Hey Duggee after that, and then these have been sort of the three main puppetry shows that I've done. The ones before that haven't been so heavily puppetry orientated, but it's sort of been something that I've always sort of been interested in as a way of storytelling. But yeah, show by show it's very different because the puppets are really different from like the triggers, how you open their mouth even, and the weight of them and where you wear them on your body. If you wear them on your body, it's all very different show by show.
Yeah, it sounds brilliant. I imagine that you must kind of have to get it into muscle memory almost, so you're not thinking too much about it, so you can still perform at the same time.
Yes, definitely. And I think what people say about puppeteers is that they're kind of like contortionists in a way, because like the positions that you have to get in, it's something that you don't realize sort of how much it does build up your stamina and strength as you're doing it. So it's definitely in your muscle memory. Yeah.
If it's a bit like that thing of trying to pat your head and rub your belly at the same time.
yeah, it's like that. And it's something where you're you're not actually looking at the audience. If you're holding a puppet, you're looking through the back of the puppet's head. That's something that took me a while to get used to, like in the first show that I did, because you kind of want to be with the audience, but you still are just through the back of the puppet's head.
Yeah, just through them. Yeah. So, I mean, we've said this is like it's sold multi-million books. It's won so many awards. I mean, what do you think it is that people just love so much about Kevin the Koala?
I think it's probably that he is actually very relatable for children.
Yeah.
But also for adults as well. I think like one of the main lines that always sort of gives me like a funny feeling in my stomach when we all say it at the end is that life can be great when you try something new. Because I think that's something, a message that maybe we kind of forget as we get older. But I think it's something that children are sometimes better at than adults. But then there are obviously individuals that feel maybe anxious, who don't want to go and meet new people or try something new from, whatever age you are. So I think it's something that everyone can relate to, the sort of parents or guardians or friends that are reading the books with the children. I think it's something that is enjoyable for both young and old to read.
And there's gorgeous themes in there, isn't there? Like you've touched on there, like embracing change and finding courage, facing your fears, and friendship as well, isn't there? So, like you say, even though the show is for younger children, I've been to these kinds of shows before and I thoroughly enjoy them because you do reconnect with that inner child in yourself, don't you?
Yeah, I think so. And I think it's done through, puppetry, songs, and the script as well, from using lines from the book in it. I think it's something that the audience, they sometimes join in with the lines as well because they recognize them from the book. So that kind of obviously shows how much people have connected with the lines from the book as well.
And you mentioned the songs there. So we've got original songs throughout, but I believe you've actually set the whole scene as well, as people are coming in with like Men at Work with the we remember the life down under and things like that. There's like little Australian snippets coming in, but original songs in the actual thing. So talk us through a couple of your favourites.
Oh, that's a hard question. I quite like the last song of the show, because the message is like you can do anything, basically. And it's just got a nice feel to it, and you can kind of see the kids sort of standing up, dancing, joining in, and sort of making their way down to have a boogie, which is quite nice. That's the one that I enjoy doing the most, I think. Yeah, the last song
at the end. And how are we know we've got the animals and we've got songs and things like that, but the set wise, how are we being transported to the Australian outback?
So the set is the colours for a start. They really sort of bring it all to life, and the lighting as well. We've got the sun in the background, we've got a waterfall as well, and it's sort of all focused around Kevin's tree, which we show in different perspectives. There's like quite a clever perspective change, which is done through a different way of showing the tree, which again, I won't spoil. But yeah, the tree is sort of our main focus because that's Kevin's sort of the thing that he holds on to, and we sort of change that, add branches, add things to it, take it away, move it around. So it's been quite a fun set to play with.
It sounds brilliant. And we've talked about, embracing new things and trying new things and not being afraid of change. So for children who are coming to the theatre for the first time and it's new to them, they might be a little bit nervous about this, like what's going to happen? Am I safe and things like that? What do you think Kevin the Koala would say to the children who are wanting to come but might be a little bit nervous about what to expect?
I would say you're in safe hands with us. If it's your first show, definitely. He would say, come and see us because we'll take you, we'll guide you through it. It's not a scary experience. It's a fun and engaging, and it's just a very sort of welcoming, wholesome experience. And also I would say that to the parents as well, because sometimes friends of mine, if I say to come and see the show with their 2 or 3 year old, they're sometimes a little bit really? Will they sit and listen?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, they definitely will. They'll be engaged from the beginning. And if they do sort of lose focus a bit, as children do, they want to stand up, they want to say something, that's absolutely fine. I think people are a bit scared of that sometimes, but it's more of an inclusive environment, I think, than people think. So
Yeah.
I would say come along and you'll have just a wonderful time with your family, basically.
And I think that's the thing at children's shows as well, is you're not going to be the only one who's got a child who loses focus, who might wander around or whatever, or just have a
Yeah,
little bit of a, that's what kids do. But then
yeah,
your show is so colourful and brilliant, you're immediately going to get them back anyway. So,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So growing up then, were you more of a Kevin the koala or a Norman the zebra, a Hoppy, is it Hoppy the kangaroo, or Tilly the Tuscan?
Question.
Toucan,
I
Tuscan?
think maybe I wasn't much of a Kevin actually when I was younger. Well, maybe when I was younger, I was a bit more of a Kevin. I think my tree was my mum, so I wouldn't let go of my mum.
Yeah.
That was definitely a thing that I grew up hearing a lot, that I wouldn't let go. But then I sort of grew out of that, and then I think there's been times, I think college, I was a bit like, not really sure, what I'm doing at college. So I think I went back into that a little bit, and then then when I found, my love of theatre again and sort of writing and being involved in it, I think when you find your place somewhere, I think you just feel like you can just be, and you're happy and free to explore a bit more then.
Yeah, definitely. And you kind of grow your trees wherever you go then, don't you?
Yeah, that's lovely.
Grow new trees and branches.
Yeah,
And so the show, as we've said, it's hopefully going to be showing children lots of different things about friendship and
yeah.
embracing change and all these different things. So working with children and doing shows like this, what has it taught you as a performer?
Ooh. It's taught me to always be listening, I think, because I mean, obviously it's important to stay on script.
Yeah.
But sometimes if you have asked a question, or if Kevin mainly has asked a question to the audience, and it's given them a space to sort of shout something out or say something, I think it's quite nice if you do really listen and you can hear, and you can pick up on even what a few people have said, and then you repeat it back. I think it kind of really makes them feel heard, and like oh my gosh, Kevin actually heard what I said, which is quite special for them and something that they'll probably remember and
Yeah.
take away. And I think, yeah, to always sort of be ready and know that sort of they're a very honest audience. I
Yeah.
think children are, and I think that's something that you can't really take for granted. I don't think you can really sort of take a back seat in shows like that, because you need to really give everything, and to keep them focused as well. I think being really truthful, silly but truthful. I think there's a balance with that.
I love that. Yeah, silly but truthful, and
Yeah,
it's such a brilliant way to get like the next generation of people into the theatre as well, isn't it? And
yeah,
start
definitely.
that love really, really, really young, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it's like a space where they can see just things being brought to life in different ways,
Mm.
and lots of different characters, different voices, and songs, dances, just things just a variety of things that they can sort of get involved with. They might not like every single part of it. I'm sure they will, but there's just such a variety in an hour, a space where a lot of things are coming at them. I think it's an exciting experience for them to have at that age.
Yeah, well, it may be a show for younger children, but Sarah, you've completely sold it to me. I'm not going to lie.
I'm
So
glad.
it sounds absolutely brilliant. Thank you so, so much for your time today. And
Thanks
as
for
we
having
said,
me.
oh no, thank you. And we've said you can catch Sarah and the team in the Koala Who Could at the Keys Theatre, Larry, from the 8th of April. What a brilliant way to spend your Easter holidays.
In a wonderful place at the breaking of dawn,
where the breezes were soft and the sunshine was warm,
a place where the creatures ran wild and played free.
a koala called Kevin clung to a tree.
You can climb, you can dig, you can slither and slide. You can leap, you can lollop, you can waddle and glide. You can have a little party with a platypus or a bright pink cockatoo. The outback's out there waiting just for you. If you're feeling scared or you're feeling shy, if you're feeling kind of unprepared or a little bit afraid to try, take a leaf from out of Kevin's book. Do not leap before you look, but once you've thought it through, you'll see that you can be